So as Catherine said, so I currently do a lot of work around lawyer well-being, transitioned into that role from a number of years at our state's lawyer assistance program, which actually housed our state's practice management program. One of the things that we would find in our work is that oftentimes there's sort of a relation to the practice management and sort of life and personal management, right? Especially if you're a solo practitioner or small firm, right? It's all intertwined. If you're stressed in your practice life, it's going to sort of spill over into your personal life as well, and vice versa. So sort of made sense for that all to be together. And my take on sort of technology is that I actually do think it can be a useful tool in sort of helping reduce stress. I know that it also creates stress, but I think that, programs like this that can help you sort of better manage your technology can help reduce some of that stress, make you more efficient and more productive in your practice. So like Catherine said, I am a Mac user. I have been a Mac user for some time now. I am sort of fully on Apple. I have a couple of iPads and an iPhone and probably more devices than I would care to share with you all, but I love them. And one of the reasons why I like Macs is because I think they're very user-friendly. And if any of you are on a Mac, I suspect that may be one reason why you chose the Mac. I was telling our breakout group is that I used to work with a lot of practitioners that were starting their own practices, and I would almost across the board find when someone was leaving a large firm and they were, familiar with the Microsoft PC environment, they typically had a Mac that they were using at home. And when they would leave their practice, they would say, well, can I just use my Mac to run my practice? And I said, yeah, of course you can use your Mac to run your practice. And so that, it used to be much more difficult to run your practice on a Mac because when we weren't using programs and software that were in the cloud, you'd have to actually run a program that would allow you to sort of make your Mac mimic a PC so that you could run those PC programs on your Mac. But now that everything is cloud-based, and I'm hoping that folks have moved to the cloud, you basically can do everything on your Mac that you could do on a PC. There are probably some like IT folks, especially in the larger firms, who would still say the PC is the best environment because it has sort of better security for like enterprise grade practices, which may be true, but especially for solo and small firms, there's no question that you can be using a Mac very effectively. So that is my pitch about Macs. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the features on your Mac that can help you be a little bit more efficient and effective. And also, I'm going to do a couple of demos here. So, I'm not showing my slideshow right now because I want you to actually see my desktop. And I'm doing a little bit of an experiment as well because I actually just downloaded some new software to use for this presentation. And so you are going to see this in real time as I sort of work through the sort of a learning experience of new software. So so let's get started. So the first here is one of the most basic shortcuts on the Mac. And this is to pull up your Spotlight search. And I have had numerous conversations with people who are using a Mac and have been using a Mac for years and have never used this feature. This will be life-changing if you don't know about this feature. This is the again, this feature that pulls up Spotlight, and what Spotlight does is it allows you to find basically anything on your app on your computer. Also allows you to pull up applications very, very quickly. Okay, so instead of sort of navigating around, opening up files, and trying to find something, you can just pull something up with a click of a button. So I'm going to show you how this works. It's Command plus spacebar. And so the second thing that I'm going to do here is I am going to attempt to turn on this new software program. And let's see if it actually works here. Not working at this moment, of course. Mouse. All right, let's see. So this is a new, well, it has something to do with me sharing my screen, likely. Oh, here we go. So this is a new program. It's actually called Mouse Pose. It is amazing what what different software programs you can find out there. And this particular program actually allows me to share on my screen my keyboard clicks. So I can actually show you when I do Command and Spacebar here. You're going to see Command and Space. It's going to pull up this Spotlight search, which you can see in the middle of my screen. Let's see here. So there's my Spotlight search. So it pulls up this bar, and let's say I want to find something. Catherine and I worked on the ABA Tech Show last year, so I can pull up Tech Show, and let's see here. Hopefully it doesn't pull up anything embarrassing about me, but you'll see here there's a word, ABA Tech Show. I've got some presentations. It's pulling from mail messages. It's got some bookmarks and history. It's got some contacts, PDF documents, events and reminders, folders, anything that includes the words Tech Show. So really helpful if you want to pull something up quickly. If I want to actually open up an application, let's say I want to open up Word. Okay, I'm going to hit Word. And there you go. You've got Word right here, and I can just open that up. So a really easy way. This is probably one of the easiest things that you can do to get started with automation on your Mac. The other things that I put in this slide that Spotlight can also do, it can do a bunch of different things, but it can also do it can do calculations. So I could do 98 times 8, and it's going to give me a quick calculation. Instead of having to open up a calculator, I can do calculations right there in Spotlight. I can also do currency conversion. So if I put in a dollar sign and then a dollar, or, you know, so we can see how much is the US dollar currently in other currency, and we'll get that right up there. So that is Spotlight. So that's number one, probably one of the most easiest automation tools you can use on your Mac. The second one here is screenshots. And I always love this feature because it's a feature that's actually baked in to the Mac operating system. So you don't actually have to download something, download any software to use this. All you need to do is, and I'm going to show you how we do this, is Command Shift plus 3. And what Command Shift plus 3, so I hit Command Shift 3, it takes a picture of my entire screen. So here we go. Now I've got my screenshot. So you see that opened up. It looks exactly like my screen here. I've got my my screenshot. I can also take a screenshot from a selection by using Command Shift 4. So if I use Command Shift and 4, you'll see that there's this little, it's very small, it's what I can use to actually drag here and create my screenshot. So I hold it down. I'm still holding down my Command Shift and 4, and I let go of it. And here I've got this nice little screenshot just of whatever selection I wanted. And then the last one is I can use Command Shift F4 plus the space bar, and it's going to grab whichever window is active. And then what I'm going to do is hit return, and it's going to take a screenshot of only that application, only the window that is active. So, you know, again, this is a really, again, really simple tool that that you can use. All right, next on my list here is signatures. Hopefully you are using some sort of electronic signature tool. If you haven't played around with this one that again is baked into Apple's the Mac operating system, you should definitely test it out. And this is, it is so easy. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that spotlight here to actually pull up the signature demo. So we got our signature demo. There we go. Quickly pull that up. Okay, I don't have to remember where I put it, right? And so what I'm going to do here is, here's a W4 form, and I want to sign this. So all I've got to do here, and I'm going to do something else, and we're going to get rid of that off, and I'm going to highlight here where I'm clicking for you. So here I'm going to click right here, which is the markup toolbar, and I'm going to go over here to signatures. And you'll see I have a couple of signatures here because I sign things for my partner. I don't know if that's legal or not, but I do it. You can all let me know. But and I can drop my signature in. And the way I created this signature is I use my iPhone to take a picture of my signature on a piece of paper. I can also create a signature in here, and you'll see here I have the options of using my camera. I can use my iPhone, or I can actually sign. I can actually sign it right in there, and it's doing something strange right at the moment because and now it's going to. I don't know what it's doing, but here's my new signature. And then all I have to do is take this signature, and I can drop it in here wherever I would like. So you can see I'm moving it around here. I can make it a little bit bigger, and there you go. You have your signature. You save it as another document, and you've got a signed document. So very, very, very easy. So that is another automation that you can use on your Mac. All right. So here's another one that I absolutely love, which is the gestures. And the gestures, again, are baked into Apple's operating system. If you haven't already taken a look at these, you definitely should. Really easy to use. So again, I'm going to show you where this is. So I am going to go into, again, I'm going to pull this up, System Preferences. Here we go, System Preferences. You can see I use Spotlight a lot. It makes things, again, go a lot quicker. System Preferences. So I'm going to go into my System Preferences, and I am going to go to Trackpad. And here we've got the trackpad, and you'll see the trackpad, and you don't have to have one of these external trackpads. You can do this right on your trackpad on your Mac. There are a ton of different ways in which you can use the trackpad. So for example, I'm going to show you a couple of my favorite ones. These are my favorite. The mission control and app expose. So here's what we're going to do is I'm going to pull up, I'm actually going to pull up one of these screenshots so I can show you how this works. And what we're going to do is do sort of one of my favorite, which is, what I'm going to do is I am going to swipe up with 3 fingers, and you can see here's the demo. Swipe up with 3 fingers, and look what happens here. I can see all of the applications. Hopefully you're actually able to see that happen. It may have not worked on Zoom, but I'm going to hope that it worked. So when I swipe up like that, we can actually see all of the different applications. And so you can see here, as this example here, you can see all the applications. So, you know, I know how frustrating it can be when all of a sudden you've got a ton of things open right on your computer and you can't find the document that you need. So if you swipe up with these three fingers, you can then get to the document that you need. The other one is App Expose, which I also like. So if you have multiple, let's say you've got multiple Word documents open and you're trying to figure out, you know, where did that Word document go? You can click on one of the Word documents and then swipe down with three fingers, and you're going to see all the different Word documents that are open on your computer. Here's another one that I really like. Spread with your thumb and three fingers, and you can actually see the desktop. So again, when your desktop becomes extremely cluttered with a lot of things, maybe there's something you saved on your desktop, like here's all my screenshots that all of a sudden got saved to my desktop, which I absolutely hate. And I've actually found a workaround so I can actually get them directly in screenshots, but that's for the next version of this presentation. So all I have to do is, again, spread with my thumb and the three fingers, and I can see what's on my desktop, as opposed to clicking and closing everything out. So those are my favorite gestures. But you know, as you can see, there are so many different things that you can do with the trackpad to sort of make your life easier and more streamlined here. All right, so then let's look at hot corners. So hot corners, again, another way that you can sort of use your the native features of your Mac to make things a little bit easier. Sort of does some of the same functions as the gestures and the trackpad, but I find it sort of really easy to use. And I'll show you why. So again, I'm going to go into, I'm actually going to go here into System Preferences and Mission Control. I'm going to open Mission Control, and you're going to see down here on the bottom, we've got Hot Corners. And so I'm going to hit Hot Corners. And now what you're going to see is I can make different selection for these hot corners. And what a hot corner means is when I go up and I put my mouse all the way over here, or all the way over here, or all the way over here, you get the point here, right? I will see something different. And so if the way I have it set up right now is if I go all the way to the right, I'm going to clear my desktop, and all you're going to see is my desktop. If I go up here at the top, you're going to see the Mission Control. At the bottom, you're actually going to see the Notification Center. So I can try to get that one for you. So again, like, this is just another way to really make things very simple, streamlined, and quick on your Mac. Here's another one, which is an app switcher. App switcher. You can also close apps. Again, this is another shortcut. So the way that I do this is I hit, I'm gonna turn this on. I hit my Command and Tab. So Command and Tab, unfortunately, is bringing this up to the wrong screen. So that is my bad. So I'm going to show it to you here. So the way I can bring up this bar in the middle here. So this is actually showing right in the middle of the screen, is showing all of the apps that are currently open. So if I go ahead and use Command Tab, I am going to bring up this bar. And then what I do is I just Command Tab, Command Tab, Command Tab, Command Tab to get to the application that I want. And once I get to the application I want, I stop there and the application will actually open. So again, like, if you're using multiple applications, this is a really easy way to get from one application to the other without having to like move all your windows around. You can also close applications. So if you go into Command Tab and then you move through and you find, hey, I don't really need calendar open right now, or I don't really need photos open right now, you can hit Command Q. And when you hit Command Q, it's actually going to close out that program. So again, another little shortcut here. And again, I will share my slides with Catherine. So if you'd like to test this out after, you'll have those commands. Multiple desktops. So I sort of showed multiple desktops when I was showing the gestures, but when you do that swiping up with your 3 fingers, you're going to see at the top of your screen all the different desktops that are open. You can have multiple desktops that are open. So I can go in here and I can add desktops. I have a bunch of different screens that are open right now. And so I can take my desktops and I can move them to different monitors. I can, it's a great way to organize your work. So you're seeing here, like, one desktop I've got opens my social media. I might be working from my other desktop. I've got open, here I'm working on a presentation on desktop 10 and desktop 11. And so I can have all these different desktop open so that it's much more organized, as opposed to having, having all the applications open in one window. Here's another really cool feature that is definitely applicable for your practices if you're dealing with a lot of documents. And this one is, the Apple gives you the ability to rename multiple files. And it has a couple of different naming conventions that you can use. The way this works is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the files, and again, as you can see here, I'm using Spotlight again, and I'm going to pull up the files that I want to rename. Screenshots. That's not right. Screen. Oh, it'd be nice if I could spell. Okay, so I'm going to open my screenshots folder. Okay, so I've got all these screenshots in here, and I'm sure if you've gone to any of Catherine's presentations in the past, or any sort of paperless presentation, you'll know that it's really helpful to have naming conventions in your practice when you are saving documents so you can actually find them. I do not like the way that these Apple has sort of by default labeled these screenshots. And so what I want to do is I want to label them in a different way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all of these using Command plus A. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to right click, and which also can be a 2-finger click on the Mac. And I'm going to go down here and I am going to rename 49 items. So I want to rename all of these items, and I can do this in a number of different ways. So I can actually rename all of them. I can just replace some text. I can add some text to all of them. What I'm going to do is, and there's the other option for naming it with the date, the name and the date, the name and the counter. So it's going to actually count the files starting at 1. It can create an index, which again, will just start at 1 and go up from 1. And it's going to ask you, where do you want this? So do you want to put this before the name or after the name? So do you want the number before the name or after the name? So my preference is always to have the date first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take I'm going to use the name and date format, and then I'm going to have it come before the name, so that you can see here at the bottom that I've got the date first, and then I have the actual name. And so when you're doing this, you of course have to name the file with the exact same name the entire time. I'm fine with a screenshot. That sounds fine. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rename all of these, and I am going to keep them as this particular file. And of course, it's not going to do what I want it to do, which is always what happens when you're doing a demo. So we will try something else. And here we go. Okay, here it worked now. So now I've got all my screenshots with the date first, which is how I prefer them because then it automatically sorts in that order. So that is another very useful feature, especially if you're working with a lot of different files. All right, I have a couple left here, and then we'll move on. Siri. So if you're using an iPhone, if you're using a Mac, you can use Siri on your Mac or your iPhone or your iPad. It's a really great way to just make things run very, very quickly on your iPad and Mac. I think a lot of people don't realize they can also use it on their Mac. When you go into preferences, you can set up Siri for however you'd like. So you could have a keyboard shortcut. Mine is holding the command spacebar, and that will pop Siri on. And then you can, you can give Siri commands as you would like. These are some useful commands that I think, what time is it? Remind me to do X, Y, or Z. It's going to add something to your reminders list. Go to sleep. So especially if you're somewhere where you're working with other people and you want to turn your computer off, you can do that very quickly. Turn up the volume, launch a specific app, or even launch a specific website. You could say, open, whatever website it is, and speak it in there, and it'll open the website. So Siri is really helpful. And then I have two more here. Second to last is how to record from your Mac. And this is sort of like something that people don't quite know about because it works through the QuickTime player that is installed in your Mac. And what you do here is we're going to open up QuickTime player. So I have QuickTime player opened up, and it looks like it's not going to do anything. It's just sitting here. But what I'm going to do is actually show you here. Instead of staying in here and actually grabbing a file to open up, I'm going to go up to the top here, and I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to either New Movie Recording, New Audio Recording, New Screen Recording. And if I hit New Screen Recording, what it's going to ask me is, where I would like to take this screen recording. Would I like, this selection of my screen recording? Would I like to record the entire screen? And then I just hit this this record button here, and it will record my my screen. And once it records my screen, then again I can hit play. It's going to save it as a video, and you can then play that video. The same works here if you were to plug your iPhone or an iPad into your Mac. And once you do that, you will have the same. You'll be able to go into File, and you'll have an option you'll see an option that will say pull from my iPhone. So so you can also record your iPhone. So that's a helpful tool. And then finally, what I want to show you is one of my favorite tools here. And if you are a Mac user, and if you've been using your Mac for a while, chances are you may have heard of TextExpander, or you're using TextExpander. TextExpander is one of those tools that, like, people who love Macs, many of them use TextExpander. It's just one of those tools that sort of goes hand in hand with the Mac. And fortunately, by the way, PC users also now have TextExpander available to them. TextExpander built a product now for Windows and PC users. Here is what it can do and what it looks like. I am going to open up TextExpander again. As you can see, I'm using the Spotlight feature. All right, so what is TextExpander? TextExpander is basically a keyboard shortcut tool that allows you to expand snippets of text into clauses. You can create forms. You can get really sophisticated with this stuff, but I'm going to show you just sort of very, very basic. This is TextExpander right here. I'm going to show you a couple of sample ways in which I can do this. I'm going to open up my notes, and that's not what I want. I want a new note. New note here. Nope, I don't want Apple TV. And then I will wrap up. Note. So I can show you this. So let's go back. See, now I'm pulling up my other, I'm actually using all the features that I've showed you here because I'm pulling up my different desktops and I'm moving my desktops around. And then I'm going to get back there. All right, okay, so now I've got my TextExpander and I've got a note so I can actually show you how this works. So here we go. So here's the note. All right. So one of the simplest ways of using this is adding in things like your address. Okay. So here you can see here's an address, not my address, but it is one of the sample addresses. It's got the abbreviation. Here's the abbreviation down here. So you're going to see over here. What I'm going to do is make this up really big. And I am going to type in AADDR, and all of a sudden I get that address there. Okay, really, really easy to use. Okay, here's another one. So here is one that I've set up for my my bio. And sometimes when someone requests my bio, they might want like a couple of sentences, they might want a paragraph, they want something longer. So I built one where I can actually, I have the option to select things. So here's what I built. So I can select, here's my default bio, I can select my longer bio, or just one of them. So if I hit that and I hit OK, now all of a sudden my bio is going to pop in there. So I don't have to go back to emails to try to find my bio. I put things in here like, here's a calendar link to my calendar because I use an automated calendar. So that's in there. I'm going to hit XAI and that's going to pull up the link to my calendar. And then I have more sophisticated things like when I used to consult with clients, I have all these snippets of resources and information that I would send, which is sort of similar to like when you respond to a client, and oftentimes the response is very similar to a response you've sent previously. So for example, when someone would ask me about the cloud, well, guess what? I have a whole snippet about the cloud. So I just hit X cloud that I built, and there we go. We've got all this information about how to take your practice to the cloud. So you can get really sophisticated with this. The other thing I love about it is it actually gives you your statistics and it tells you how much time you have saved here based on your words per minute, like your typing speed, and tells you how much time you've actually saved. So this is one of the best tools. It is not expensive. It's now it is a subscription service now, but I think it's something like $3 a month. So I would highly recommend it. And with that, I went through probably, those are the features that I think that I use the most of, and are features that I really think that everyone can take advantage of, and they're very easy to do. It doesn't require much setup at all, if any. But if anyone has questions about that, please feel free to let me know. If you are if I have now piqued your interest in Macs, also feel free to let me know. And I wish all of you good luck in all of your practices.